devastation. Without it, they lose so much,
Right.
and Barbuda doesn't have that now.
Right.
As you watched what the devastation, in real time over the weekend, did you ever question, should we build this anymore?
No, because, I mean, it is as devastating as it is, and as terrible as it is, it will come back. It's not going to be stopped. So we want to be part of that.
You and your team down there had been working not just on the hotel, but also on creating a 90% renewable energy program
Yes.
for Barbuda. Is there an onus on those who have wealth, who develop like you, to do more outside?
Well, you have to. Our intention is to help the island. The island has to be healthy and back up and running. And at the same time, what we're doing with the hotel, that's great. But the most important thing are the people first, and then the hotel, and it can be done simultaneously. But it's a big endeavor. It's just it's a beautiful place, and it's quiet, and the people are nice, and it's been kind of spoiled in a certain way. It's just that it's been one of those places. It's unique. You don't find places like this anymore, as far as I know.
So Barbuda's Prime Minister told Time magazine this week, quote, "We have no doubt that this is a result of global warming and sea level rise and climate change." The White House came out this week and said, when asked about this, that it would need to conduct a, quote, "trend analysis" to determine if there's a connection. Any thoughts?
Well, I think we all know the feeling from the White House, that they're not too in favor of the idea of global warming, and so we have to deal with that. But people will deal with it, because no matter what the White House wants to do, the world sees that there are changes, and we're not certainly helping it by ignoring it. We could at the least are exacerbating the situation, and for the administration to turn their back on that is disgusting.
I think we have seen some of the most beautiful parts of this country, in terms of the heart of this country, come to the fore in the past 3 weeks. In the devastation and the recovery of Harvey, and the same with Irma. This comes at a time of such division in America. And it seems to me like, and I wonder what you think, that people are yearning for togetherness.
Yeah. And wasting everybody's time about building a wall between Mexico and the States is, come on, we need a lot of money for this. And we're paying for that wall, and somehow later on they'll find a way to say that we had to pay for it. But I know the Mexicans aren't going to pay for it, just on principle. And so we need to really focus on other things. Harvey, Irma, total devastation. Come on.
This seems like a moment to me where America makes a choice. Do we come together, or do we separate further from one another?
Well, we would like everyone to come together, and maybe we will. I don't know. As far as Trump goes, he hasn't changed, and I was always saying, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he'll change or do something. He hasn't done anything, as far as I can see, that changes from who he really is.
What about DACA?
There you go. What about it?
He says they're going to get DACA legislation through Congress. The Dreamers are going to stay here.
Yeah, so he put it on to them.
Okay.
Right? So in 6 months. So we'll see what he does if it's not dealt with within those 6 months.
So if you were to
If
you were to make a bet, do we as a country, you and I are sitting here 5 years down the road, is this country more together or further apart?
I don't know. Maybe some miraculous things will happen, where even Trump will do something that's surprising. I don't think so, but you never know. I'll even then say, okay, I give you that, but I just don't think so.
I spent a lot of time along the Rust Belt in Kentucky, in places that where people put all of their hope in this president, and their livelihood depends on his success.
Right.
Do you feel like Hollywood, those living on the coast like I do, like you do, are too disconnected. We're too disconnected from that pain.
I understand that people feel, even I am hesitant sometimes to endorse somebody because I don't want to, now it's just an elite Hollywood person doing that. But many of us feel that the right thing has to be done for people. And we really believe that. Someone like Trump doesn't really believe that. He can give lip service to it, but he doesn't really believe it.
But they disagree with you. They tell me, because I've sat with them, I've had dinner with them, and they say, he gets me, and he is standing up for me, and he is putting America first.
You know what the best con artists in the world say? I'm putting you first. And what happens?
So he is the President of the United States of America. Do you want him to succeed?
Of course I want him to succeed. I don't believe that he will.
The number one piece of legislation you would like to see him support?
The DACA is one.
Okay. So if he works with Congress, signs DACA legislation to get Dreamers to stay here, you will be hopeful?
Yeah, because his action will have spoken louder than his big mouth and words, because all he does is open his mouth and yell, talk, and insult people and put them down. You can't do anything. That's inexcusable.
His politics are clear, and what he and everyone is hoping is that the recovery for Barbuda and for Florida and for Texas after these hurricanes is so far beyond politics.
You know, look, and that's a guy who doesn't do a lot of interviews, doesn't sit down and talk a lot.
Right.
It just goes to show how committed he is to getting the assistance to Barbuda that he wants to get there, that he was willing to sit down to give it that focus.
That's true. And his team said that they will, as they rebuild and build this hotel, they want to give every Barbudan a job that is looking for one. They're hoping.
Fascinating discussion. Thanks so much.
You got it.